real quick. Even get you to greet, say hello, welcome all the participants in the list here, and we'll get started shortly. We're still just a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. So, Lauren, if you would test your, do your sound check, and just welcome everyone here. Take 1 minute to do this, please, Lauren, if you don't mind. Okay, just got your message here, Lauren. Waiting for iPad. So no worries. Let me just go through the list here real quickly and just welcome those that are here, that are joining us. I see flags from different countries around the world. This is excellent. Great to see you. Welcome here. I see Anissa. Welcome. Arndt. Cashflow team. That would be South Africa. Great to have you. Don. Frank. Jack. Jeff Battershaw. Woohoo. We've got a special night here tonight with Mr. Jeff Battershaw. Jerry Long. Judith. Kim. And we've got Christina from Australia, Sydney area. Ladder Group, welcome. Lauren, our very own horse lady here, Atlanta, Georgia. And we've got Lester, Man Cave Money, Mary from Kansas, Michael or Michelle St. Pierre, and Patrick with us from Belgium. Retire Rich, Robert, T. Gerard Williams. I apologize, I know I've pronounced your name wrong a couple of times there, Gerard. And we've got La from Canada, welcome. Val from New Zealand, and Wen. So most of our participants here, of course, from the United States of America. Welcome to all of our American friends, and it's a great night here, folks. We've got plenty of action, plenty of excitement planned here this evening. So let's get started here in about 30 seconds. Welcome to the webinar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or morning or afternoon, depending on what time it is in your part of the world. Welcome to the CrowdRising webinar presentation. My name is Pete Redica, together with Gerhard Rempel, Lauren Blaine, Kai Jacobson. We are thrilled you took the time out of your busy schedule to be on this information session tonight. Well, folks, I can tell you we've got something really special planned for you this evening. Our very own Mr. Jeff Battershaw is in the house tonight, and Jeff is going to be sharing some incredible things with us here this evening. So I hope everyone has a pen and a paper or an area to take notes tonight, because we're going to have an incredible session here with Mr. Jeff Battershaw. So let me introduce you to him real quickly. We'll have a training segment from Jeff just after the webinar presentation, after the PowerPoint presentation. But let's introduce Jeff here. So Jeff, my friend, if you are there, join me in welcoming him for a real quick hello.
All right, want to make sure that I'm coming in clear once again. We had some good testing earlier. Anybody hear me? Yes, very good. All right, yeah, I've got some really neat stuff lined up for tonight. First of all, I'm going to bring the group up to speed with what it takes to reach different parts of the globe with a website. You know, mostly we're going to talk about websites tonight. Now, not everyone's going to want to be doing websites, but that's all well and fine. You're going to learn quite a bit. We're going to discuss international marketing of your site, its domain, and what it means to Google as far as how you reach out to the world, and the restrictions that Google puts on your site because of your domain, and how it affects you in a bigger way across the globe than most people even realize. Now, on the surface, my topic tonight might not seem to apply to everyone on the line. Again, after all, no one wants to put a site up for the CrowdRising venture, and that's fine And later on tonight, I'll explain why you won't need to have any of these technical attributes or aspects to prosper in our fantastic opportunity anyway. Heck, as a webmaster, it's unlikely that I'll even build one for the program, quite frankly. There are easier avenues. Fact is, there are more important tools right off the top that we all need to use more, and if we do, it won't cost us a penny. Just as a hint, on the first side of the coin here is one of the tools that we can use is our mouth. We have to be able to speak to our upline and downline. The next two tools of the three that I'm going to talk about tonight are just as easy to implement, and they are cost effective because they cost zero. So definitely stay tuned, veterans and newbies alike. Plus, later tonight, after a brief training of the topic at hand, I'm going to turn my attention to the CrowdRising creators and even the developer to have them maybe make the tiniest change in the back office that I believe will revolutionize our 48-hour free registration, the free registrant retention efforts that we're seeing paltry percentages on right now. I think that we might have something that we can do very, very simply in the back office to shoot those efforts up by as high as 50 or 60% on the retention side. So that's pretty much it for the moment. I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Pete, and we will get talking about it a little bit later on.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It indeed will be a pleasure to learn from you, my friend. So I've got the pen and paper ready here, and I am prepared to take notes and learn. Hope everyone is with us there. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the CrowdRising PowerPoint presentation. Any guests in the house tonight? Just always love to make our guests feel really welcome tonight, or if you're on a CrowdRising webinar for the very first time, just type guest in the box there so that we can identify you and say a special hello to you and just really welcome you to CrowdRising and welcome you to take a look at it. If you're viewing this via video presentation, get back to the person that shared this video presentation with you, because this person obviously had a real interest in attracting you and sharing this information with you. So we want to welcome you to the CrowdRising family. All right, let's get started here on our presentation. I'm going to go through the presentation relatively quickly today to make room for the training segment with Jeff Battershaw. And I know most of you are here to get this information firsthand. So, time for the little guy to win. This is our CrowdRising model. And this little ant here, this image here, I think says so many things here when it comes to what is possible with CrowdRising. Now, our peer-to-peer direct funding model here is very unique in a sense, and it's custom built from the ground up. I mean, this is not a copycat. This is not an off-the-shelf script. This is very unique in terms of the inner workings of CrowdRising. We're going to go over a few of the incredible features that we have in CrowdRising that makes CrowdRising stand alone, really all by itself. It's very unique. Now, $8,600 potential in 90 days. That's the number we're going to focus on. And this is realistic for anyone that is new and is looking at CrowdRising and saying, well, how does it work? What can I do? How can I make the most of this? Well, everyone can participate. $20 one time out of pocket is all you need. Every step after this can be 100% self-funding. Now in CrowdRising, we have what's called stages, and we step up to these stages. And again, that $20 one time out of pocket can set in motion an avalanche of donations coming to you. And by continuing to step up to the stages, there's 10 stages within CrowdRising, you can do that all from the donations that you receive from previous levels. Now let's get into the heartbeat of CrowdRising real quickly, and let's share with you how this model works. Here you are. You come into CrowdRising. You are new. Bob has invited you to take a look to CrowdRising. And the moment that you pay it forward, and when I say pay it forward, you step up to the first stage. When you register, you have 48 hours to submit that step up donation to sponsor or the person that you spill to. In this case, it's Bob. So $20 donation to Bob, and your row of 5 is automatically opened up. Your referral link is live in the promotion tab in your back office, and you are ready to start inviting your first 5 people. Now, the moment you do that, you bring in your very first person, it's a $20 donation to you. And this continues for every person that you bring in. You have 5 positions that you can fill. Now, it's very possible that these 5 positions can get filled full by Bob or Susie, who are in your upline. Let's use an example. In this scenario, it's very possible that you were not invited by Bob. It's possible you were invited by Susie. Susie is out there marketing, and she's doing, she's listening to Jeff Battershaw, and she's taking some of Jeff's information, and she's just going gangbusters. She's making this happen. Well, Bob was the only one in her row of 5 that didn't have his 5. Our spill feature is so unique that it identifies the very first open position, meaning the person with the least amount of referrals in your genealogy, and it automatically places that person into that position. In this example, it was Bob, right? So Susie had sponsored you, and you spilled it for Bob. You donated $20 to Bob. Now, when your row of 5 is full, you have $100 in donations. You want to immediately step up to stage 2. We don't encourage that you wait till you receive all 5. The model we have in CrowdRising is very simple. The moment you get 2 donations at any given level, step up to the next stage so that you are ready to receive donations at that higher stage. And as you continue to receive donations, you continue to step up higher and higher. So let's give an example here again. Here you are, and you donated $20 to Bob. Even though Susie may have sponsored you because you spilled to Bob, you still donated $20 to Bob. But when you choose to step up to stage 2, it's automatically going to go to Susie. So Susie is Bob's sponsor. So the $40 donation goes 2 up. Now, this automatically qualifies you for the row of 25. Let's give an example here. All of these 5 people that you personally have invited into CrowdRising, they have 5 vacancies beneath them. Now let's pick an example here. Let's give an example here. Let's pick on the blonde girl right in the middle. She is out there, and she's making it happen. She's inviting her 5 people, and these 5 people, the moment they decide, keyword, when they decide to step up to the second stage, you are the recipient of those donations. And that applies to the entire row of 25. Very unique. Now, if you're sponsoring more than 5, they're going to spill down beneath. Maybe the guy here with the shades, maybe he's not motivated yet. Maybe he hasn't gotten started yet. But as you invite more than 5, they will systematically start to fill in the vacancies down beneath here. So you're giving away, essentially, the sponsorship, you're giving away the $20 donation, but you're setting yourself up for the higher step-up donations. And I'll explain that in a moment here. Now, as you continue to build and as you continue to move forward, you've got 25 people on your second tier. They've all donated $40 to you when they choose to step up to stage 2. Now, again, the moment you receive the donations from your second tier, from the stage 2 step-ups, you want to advance to stage 3, which is $60 donation, right? And in this scenario, Bob got the 20, Susie got the 40, and Jim is now the recipient of the $60 donation. So here again, recapping, paying Bob 20 or donating 20 to Bob opened up the row of 5 for you, which was $100 in donations. Donating the $40 to Susie opened up the 25 people, again donating $40 each to you for a total of $1,000. And then by donating $60 to Jim, it opened up your third tier, the row of 125, and these people will all be donating $60 to you for a potential of $7,500. Now, if you do the math here, this is where the $8,600 possible comes in. In the event that this fills up for you, and for most people that are excited, that are enthused, that are energized, they can make this happen in less than 90 days if you are working with your team. Now, what if it only works half as good? Well, it's $4,300 in donations to you. for most people, that would still make a really good difference. That would have an impact in their life right now. Folks, we have testimonials that are absolutely pouring in, and we're going to be sharing some of these testimonials. I mean, Kathy Bailey, she's on fire, and she's been a real, just a key leader that's making things happen. She submitted a testimonial yesterday that was just so powerful, and I will share that testimonial with you later on or tomorrow if we can't get Kathy to share it personally. But powerful things are happening inside of CrowdRising. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you for making this possible. I mean, CrowdRising launched 2 weeks ago today, and we are over 2,000 participants strong. So again, congratulations to everyone here. Okay, now we've got the picture here of how the system works. We're going to focus on the pass-up feature real quickly, because the pass-up feature here is so unique. When you step up to the next stage, how does it work? In this example, here you are. When you upgraded, when you came on to stage 1, you donated to Bob, right? Susie's above Bob. You donated $40 to Susie. Jim is above Susie. You donated $60, stage 3. Now, stage 4 goes to Betty. But you see, in this scenario, Betty's not on stage 4. This is how the CrowdRising model works. The CrowdRising model gives you an option, and it gives you a message. It says, Betty is not on the stage that you wish to upgrade to. You can be a brother or sister's keeper and do exactly what the system instructs you to do. Contact this person, whatever they're sharing on their public profile, their Skype ID, their Facebook, their phone number, their email address, whatever is visible to you. Contact Betty and say, Betty, I want to go to stage 4, but I noticed you're not there. What happens in the event Betty does not respond, right? Betty doesn't respond to you. She's on holidays. She's away. Where does it go? Well, the CrowdRising system looks up. Who's on stage 4? Looks at Harry. No, Harry's not there. And the system automatically points to Paul. Paul is on stage 4. Paul is now awarded that stage 4 donation. Now, if Betty does reply, Betty does respond to you, you can say to Betty, hey, get yourself on stage 4, Betty. I'd love to donate to you. And Betty says, I'll make it happen. But that's an example. You can contact the person and have them upgrade, and you can donate to them. In the event of no response, or in the event you're in a big rush and you can't wait, you have the choice to allow the system to look in your upline and find the next recipient. Now, in this slide example, though, you want to also go to stage 5, because you've got people moving, shaking. You're right on your heel. Where does the donation go? Well, again, the system points up at Harry, right? Because Harry is 5 up from you. Harry is the rightful recipient of that stage 5 donation. Harry's not on stage 5. And let's say Harry doesn't respond to your request. Harry's off on holidays, or Harry's busy. Automatically, the system gives you the choice to proceed, and again, it looks up. Paul's not there, and Fred is there. Fred is on stage 5. Fred is moving, Fred is shaking, Fred is making this happen. He's not missing a beat. He's watching his genealogy in his back office. You see, you have the ability in your back office to track all of your people, and you know exactly where they're at, what stage they're at. There have been some really neat enhancements to our tracking ability in the CrowdRising back office, where you can really get a bird's eye view of what's going on in your organization. So very unique. Once you understand how this pass-up system works, what's really, really encouraging about this is exactly how it works for you when you build a team down. And let's give an example of that. Here you are, you're building a team. You've got someone on your 5th level, 5 levels down from you, and this person is moving and shaking and excited. They want to donate. They want to move up to stage 5. All of the people on your 5th tier are going to be donating the 5th step up stage payment to you. The donation goes to you. Your 4th, all of them are going to go to 4, right? All the 4s go to you. All the 3rd tier people, when they go to stage 3, that goes to you. Everyone in your 2nd tier goes to you when they step up to stage 2. Obviously, the people in your row of 5 goes to you personally. So it's very powerful how this works. Once you understand this pass-up system, you're going to get real excited. Now, the disclaimer here is very clear. The funding potential portrayed in the following slides is not typical and not necessarily representative of the funding that will occur, if any, that a participant can or will receive through his or her participation in CrowdRising. All references to funding potential implied or stated throughout this presentation are for illustrative purposes only. And we don't guarantee any level of funding here whatsoever. So anything that does happen is a result of you going out and making it happen. So again, get comfortable with the terms and conditions in CrowdRising and our disclaimer. Now here you see the chart, the platform, and it's based on 5 who refer 5. We have 10 levels if you look to the left. And here you have your member potential. It's a 5 by. This is not a binary, this is not some splitting board game or anything like that. This is so unique. This is not even a business. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about CrowdRising. This is a crowd-sharing, member-to-member, peer-to-peer donation platform. Now, it increases here by 5. So the numbers get really big, 5, 25, 125. I don't focus on the huge numbers down below. I'm not going to hype this. I'm not going to rah-rah this. I'm not going to sell a pie in the sky to anybody. We keep it real. The donations gradually increase. 20, 40, 60 for stage 3, 100 stage 4, 200 stage 5. There's something real magical that happens on stage 5, and that is the ability to turn off your spill feature, so that if you are doing an advertising campaign and you wish not to spill down, or if you're doing a fundraising campaign and this church, nonprofit organization wishes to keep all these people personal to them for whatever reason, you can toggle that switch on or off to allow the spill or to not allow the spill. Very unique feature here. So now you can see our stages, our donation amounts, they go all the way from 20 to 990 to stage 10. We currently have participants anywhere from stage 1 to stage 8 are the latest in terms of people that have stepped up to within the CrowdRising base. The potential here on the right, the numbers get huge. We only focus on the first 3 levels here. The $100 from the 5 that donate 20 each to you, the 25 participants that are each going to donate 40 to you, that's 1,000, and the 125 participants that are each going to donate $60 to you from your 3rd tier, which is $7,500. That's where the number 8,600 comes into play that you saw on a previous slide. All right, let's move on here. How do you get paid? How does it work? This is the exciting part of CrowdRising, peer-to-peer direct funding right to you in real time. Now, one of the things that you can do is that you can add up to 15 different methods, different means of being donated to from the people within your organization. Now, I encourage everyone to have Bitcoin as a method. You should really all have Bitcoin back there, cryptocurrency, any cryptocurrency that you wish to accept. And there's many phenomenal ideas that we're going to share with you down the road in regards to how you can use cryptocurrency to your advantage, how you can target and attract the leaders from the cryptocurrency industry, bring them into CrowdRising as a feeder program for their project, as a tool to get these people the necessary funding that they need to come in to your cryptocurrency business or your health and wellness company or whatever you're doing. This is a phenomenal feeder program, a phenomenal tool, if not a primary plan of action here with CrowdRising. We're going to talk plenty about that down the road, but add your Solid Trust, add your Payza, add your Skrill, MoneyGram, Western Union, Cash, cryptocurrency. Add these to the My Money section of your back office. Now again, you set up the parameters. We encourage a minimum of 5 ways for people to donate to you. Have 5 visible to the people, maximum 15. So again, if you have any questions about that, there are plenty of tutorials that walk you through step by step of how to set that up. So again, CrowdRising is a very, very unique model, and we want to encourage you really to just lock arms with CrowdRising. This is really for everyone. I mean, it's an amazing model here, and I personally want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be on this information session here today. And I personally want to encourage you to get back with the person that referred you, back to the person that shared this video with you, to start receiving your funds today. Life is definitely more fun when you are well funded. So again, thanks so much for joining us, folks. Now, let's turn the page here. You've all come to hear from an incredible individual, and our wonderful friend, Mr. Jeff Battershaw. He has just been an inspiration from the very moment that I met Jeff and heard his video, the video that he created for CrowdRising. I heard that voice, Jeff, oh, incredible. And the wisdom that this man has, the knowledge that this man has, and he openly, freely shares it. He's with us here today to share just an incredible amount of information with all of us. So it gives me incredible pleasure to turn this over to our wonderful friend, Mr. Jeff Battershaw.
All righty, am I coming in clear this time, everybody? Very important question. Yes, I am, because I don't want to start until everyone can hear me. All right, clear and loud, wonderful. All right, just a note before I begin here. You're going to hear me make mention of the U.S. here quite a bit tonight versus anywhere else in my examples, okay? Now, you can rest assured that the issues that face a U.S. internet marketer happens to face anyone in any country, really, for the most part. So feel free to adapt the lingo I use as if I live right there with you, okay? So what I want to start off with is bringing people up to speed about how the biggest of product, commerce companies, advertisers, entertainment and service-oriented companies, they bottle Americans in. Now, other countries, they have the same problem. They're being bottled in. It's not quite as restrictive because there are third and fourth world countries that don't have a lot of the in-house benefits, so there's got to be a little more further reach. And places like Google.com, they allocate for stuff like that, okay? They either do it, they restrict U.S. worse than anyone, really. U.K. pretty badly, too. They do it through lobbying, and that means paying money, or through making actual laws. That is to say, more paying to the extent of actual governmental partnering to create such a bottleneck. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. I'm not off topic either, because I have a reason why I'm going to break you down some of the instances here, okay? Have you ever been to Vegas or Walt Disney World, right? We've probably all been to one of these type of places. If not, over in the UK, maybe you've been to some big giant place in UK. They want you to land at the airport, enter their acreage, check in, and have no reason whatsoever to ever leave their grip for the next 5 days while you're there. They have everything to accommodate you for a reason, and it is money. But my topic's not about entertainment, technically, okay? I want us to focus on product companies and advertisers. The biggest product companies keep us from seeing products that compete with them. For example, AT&T and Apple over here in the United States. Everything is about Samsung phones and the Apple version of the smartphones, okay? There are a tiny few others nationwide that work in cahoots with these big brands, but they work, nevertheless, 25 hours a day to make sure you have no idea about the thousands of fabulous smartphones available for pennies on the dollar that you can buy, get shipped to you, and use with your give and carry from all over the world. Wonderful products from all over the world. It's not just cell phones. I'm just using that as an example because we don't have all night. The only real access to these types of phones, unfortunately, is narrowed down to eBay, Alibaba, for example, and a little bit of Amazon, I suppose. Sadly, though, no one seeks out these phones. As if they would stumble on them, they would shake their spoiled little snobbish heads thinking, you know, such a phone must be garbage. Guess what? They're all made with the same community or family of parts within. But Apple and AT&T don't want you to know that. It is your perception that has been reduced to a very diminished tunnel-visioned garbage state, not these types of outside products. And again, I'm not off base here. It sounds like I am, but I'm going to get to a point. All this will gel very nicely here shortly. Our crybaby little selves are thinking, right, like my 18-year-old daughter would ever want to use that foreign no-name phone, right? I better get her the $600 iPhone. And you know how much Apple pays for an iPhone to be produced from start to ship ready, by the way? You're going to be surprised when you hear that it's about $4. That's it. And I'm rounding up, actually. And I know this thanks to the laws of the 6 degrees of separation. I don't know if you guys know what that is. That is the social philosophy or science, if you will, that allocates or that says that everyone can reach anyone else within 6 steps. We can all reach anybody within 6 steps. And it's essentially pretty much true. If you understand that philosophy, you would have to agree that you could apply a couple of techniques and reach anybody in the world. You could reach a monk sitting on a hill in the mountains of Tibet through about 4 steps, actually, not 6. You would do that backwards. Just off a side note here, you would reach him by way of imagining who a monk knows. He knows students. Students go to schools. You find schools through a Chinese directory. You find that Chinese directory through a U.S. directory. You could essentially reach that monk in about 5 steps, if not 6. So essentially, that's what that is. Okay. The big phone companies, getting back on track here, because that was off track, by the way. I promise I won't do that again. The big phone companies lobby big time to keep our outsiders from marketing to us so we don't see those other phones. And I'll tell you, I've got a lot of hate for Apple. On a tiny little side note, their phones never get any better. They're proprietary. They achieve nothing but funneling in the prospect, the user, to spending more money on each phone every other couple of years. And I'll be damned if they don't have hordes of bandwagoners literally lined up out the doors on a day 1 release of their phones. It kills me, and that is advertising. We talked a little bit about product companies here. We're going to talk about advertising. It's just amazing. Now, I don't have a problem with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs himself was an amazing, brilliant man, one of a kind. He was one of those few who individually changed the world in positive ways, just like the Horseman and the CR developer here started to do 5 weeks ago. As I shared in a webinar a couple of weeks back, these 5 that we are all building for and underneath with this fantastic program, they're doing for humanity what someone like Steve Jobs did. Only a select few of humans will ever have achieved in their life what these guys are doing for us right now. And we need to look back and cherish for the rest of our lives that exact moment when we heard of, then seen, and finally decided to fall into the incredible machine of theirs, of ours, of yours. That is the CrowdRising platform. It's just top notch. Now, I still haven't gotten to the actual crux of my lesson here, but I'm building up, I promise. I've not even covered Big Pharma and the advertisers completely yet. But I'll tell you, just real quick, you know, we get our bodies sick over a process of years. And a lot of you might know that I'm a naturopath. I study naturopathic medicine. It's one of my main hobbies. Pete, you also have come to realize that I love shooting pool, as do you. And we're going to get to Belize one day and shoot pool, brother, I promise. You know, we get our bodies sick over a process of years and decades of basic abuse. When the sickness starts to talk to you, though, and it starts to surface and come to finally start biting at you, we want instant resolve. We want to be better before than we want to be as good as we were before we even get into the darn parking lot of the doctor in question who's going to take care of us, who, by the way, is about to enter you, depending on your problem at hand, the more serious problems, the cancers, the bigger STIs or you know, sexually transmitted diseases, perhaps the heart work. These guys are about to enter you into a world of prescription meds, and they're going to happily make you nothing more than a financial commodity until the day you die now. But advertising has got you there very steadily and very steadfast. You couldn't wait to get in that car and get down to your doctor for your given problem or sickness. It's just the way you're trained through advertising. As a 20-year naturopath, I've not even begun to go there with where Big Pharma and the AMA are. But is to say that unless you are armed with the physical... hold on there. I got to get rid of my dog. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Is everyone still hearing me? I want to make sure. Am I coming in? Okay. Yeah. All right. You know, you're gonna become a financial commodity until you might die from a given sickness, and that's just how we're trained. I don't want to go too much into the AMA, but I will tell you that if your arm isn't physically broke, or you busted your leg somehow and you got to go to the doctor, then nature has 87,000 plus herbs. It has a solution. It has a bottom line, period, end of story. There is a resolve for any kind of sickness one can get. It doesn't happen overnight. Neither do the big meds, the chemicals. They happen over a course of time. It's just a matter of knowing about them and beginning to utilize them. Again, that's advertising, though. Advertisers are responsible for that spoiled me mentality that we all suffer. Advertisers have made generations of Generation Xers and the Generation Ys, these kids of ours, they're lazy. They expect to have life handed to them in return for zero effort. Less than zero effort, really. If you think about it for a second, right here in our very capacity on this line right now tonight is marketers and people builders. All of us on this phone, on this conference tonight, the webinar, are getting bombarded every hour with emails promising how they've got the final, absolute, positive, best way to earn $200 a day, let's say. We're all into these safe lists, these email campaigns. We're getting hundreds of emails a day so we can in turn send out hundreds of emails a day. Whatever the case may be, you guys know what I'm talking about because you're a part of the industry, okay? My point is not to say that an email that you get is lying about making $200 a day. Just as a matter of an example, let's just say that the $200 a day email is real. Okay, it's a real email. You're going to make $200 a day. Let's just say it's on the table, okay? Here's an opportunity to make $200 a day. Do we jump on it? No, we probably don't jump on it. It's just not good enough. Guess what? Somehow, it's not good enough for us. We still look for the better email to read. $200 a day just doesn't appeal to us. And why is that? Because the next ad promises something even better. So we wait. We wait for the next ad, and there's going to be hundreds of them coming to us over a period of weeks. Waiting is easy, and easy is where they want all of us to be. That's where they want us to hover at. Spending money is easy. So, you know, that's what we do. We spend money. $200 a day, you know, our backbreaking, hardworking grandparents raised in the 20s and beyond want to throw up right now hearing this. They look down on us as a whole, and they cry or laugh or both from day to day. I don't know which. Because they were trained in a different way. They were trained for a different type of work ethic. Okay, you know, when we need it easier, and we're looking for the next email, please. It's just a shame that our grandparents know that our work ethic is in the toilet, especially in the case of some of these 13-year-old kids, these 20-year-old kids. We have 20-year-old kids that they don't even know. Their faces are glowing with their cell phones. Their thumbs are on their cell phones all the time. These kids of ours, sadly, they don't even know that they want to make $200 a day. They don't even have the ambition or the ability to even lock onto the fact at the age of maybe 24 and 25 years old, because their mentality, their work ethic is that of a 13-year-old. They don't even know that they would like to even achieve $200 a day. So my point is the advertising. Again, finally, I'm going to get to the point that we're all here for, and that is, where does Google fit into play with this, okay? The golden nugget of insight that directly helps you on the line tonight, you incredible marketers, coupled with the small bricks and mortars mavericks that start their own coffee shop and their beauty parlor. You guys, combined with those bricks and mortars mavericks that start businesses abroad, worldwide, you guys are the foundation for all that this world runs upon, and that's true. I want to see if we can open up some eyes here. I'm about to reveal an internet marketing secret that I'm pretty positive most everyone on the line, especially US-based listeners, who are more bottled in by the powers that be than ever, and that's one of the reasons why I brought you up to speed with all that other hoopla I've been speaking about. They don't realize that they're being bottled by Google as well. Most webmasters don't even know this law of the land either, quite frankly. It takes a well-read, autodidactically learned individual to stumble on this fact. Someone who is good at webmastering, search engine optimization, and marketing combined, if not even sales somewhere in there, okay? Because everyone's getting into attraction marketing, and attraction marketing is nothing more than sales, okay? Unless you are told this information straight up, you have to put 2 plus 2 plus 2 together with a proverbial bunch of puzzle pieces over time to have taken, and also have studied very deeply in some reading sessions to have a light bulb go on based on this topic. And what is it I'm talking about? It is the fact that everything I've covered concerning being bottlenecked and boxed in, it doesn't stop with the products, the theme park stays, or a lifetime of advertising persuasion or medicinal money manipulating. It doesn't stop there. It happens with your almighty .com, to which most think that when they buy a .com domain, it's the do-all end-all. Everyone craves it. It doesn't matter if you're in Europe or Australia or here in the US, everyone knows that .com is it. But it's not it. It doesn't reach abroad, and you think it does. You think when your .com goes up, you're set, okay? The big brother, bad boy, king of the hill default Google search engine, and that is the Google version that pops up on your PC when you summon it to, that is not the only extension that Google utilizes. They have hundreds and hundreds of extensions. You're just seeing .com because you are in the US and Canada primarily, okay? Now, what the heck do I mean here? Jeff, I thought the .com extension was the best, most popular in the world. Well, It is, as I've covered. You know, you have picked a stellar.com extension for yourself, which, by the way, I'd have to say is always very exciting. It's always pleasant to go shopping for a domain name, especially if you really get into trying to wrap it in around some good keywords. It gets motivating. It's a real good motivating way to get excited about something, going shopping for .coms. But there's more to it than .com extensions, okay? You've got your favorite host provider that you've chosen. You buy the .com. You probably chose the host based on financial attributes first, and then features second, or you got subjected to the host's online web builder, its ease of use, its prettiness, and you went with that and maybe sacrificed a little more cost. But what you didn't pay attention to was whether that registrant or that host was located in the country that you want to pinpoint and target. Okay, it's not just .com. If you want a .com empowerment at Google, some of that extra link juice, if you will, some of that, or not link juice rather, some of that search engine optimization, which is also known as SEO. If you want some of that juice, you have to choose a domain that, or you have to choose a host that is provisioned or runs their servers out of that particular country. If you have a 123 company, or .com, or abc.com, and you register it at a host that is in the UK, but you register it as a .com, then you're going to lose a little prowess at the search engines back at the US. You should have chosen a host in the US for your .com, because as soon as you hit the waters and start swimming east of Florida or west of Hawaii, for every stroke you take, your .com is becoming less and less relevant. Okay, you guys probably don't know that there are certain countries, the residents within certain countries, they refuse to use .com. They will not pull up .com, so you are not seeing action from many countries and continents in the world. You will in little bitty bits and pieces. For you, those of you that study your analytics, Google Analytics, for example, for your website, you are seeing roughly 96% of all of your action coming from the U.S. And you see the rest of the 4 or 5% splattered throughout the world. There are many countries that aren't ever seeing your website. And I'll be even as bold to go into an order, respectively, of how you're seeing your analytics. You're seeing U.S. first. You're seeing Canada second. Now, again, guys, if you don't have websites, I'm off on a kilter here. Okay, you're seeing U.S. first, Canada second. Then you're going to see Australia. Then you're going to see the UK. And then from there, you're going to start seeing some third and fourth world countries, a little bit of the Asian areas. You're going to see a lot of Philippines, because the Philippines get the .coms quite a bit. Google gives them that extension, that extra reach, since they're barred by waters everywhere. Hawaii gets a little bit of variables too, but I'll get into that maybe some other day. But the fact is, people don't realize that the .com is only reaching U.S. soil for the most part. Okay, if you want action in UK, you've got to have a registration process. There's a few steps to it, but you have to have your feet firmly planted physically, if you will, not you, but your website, in the UK. If you want to ever see South Africans who speak plenty of English, you're never ever going to see them. You're not going to see Brazilians either. Most of these people are really tight knitted with a cultural belief that they don't want to screw around with .com, so you're never going to see them. You reach them by having a .za extension versus a .com extension. So these are some of the little tricks I wanted to share tonight. Pete, we talked about going into some training after a little bit here, but I'm kind of hitting most of it here. I will create white papers for everyone that would like to have that. I'll create some white papers step-by-steps, but I've got a really big secret at the end of all this, that you're not going to want to worry about all this jargon I'm spitting at you anyway, okay? The truth is, Google is not the whole package, or Google.com anyway. It is if you're in the US, because you're bottlenecked, you're restricted, you have no clue that you're being restricted to just our continent and a little bit of Canada occasionally. When's the last time you searched for a pair of sneakers and a Japanese site came up in front of you? Now, granted, there's a language barrier there, but let's use South Africa again. A South African website is not presenting itself to you at your search results. Everything in the US is, for the most part. You'll see some UK in there. That's that little 3, 4, 5% I talked about. But we're being bottlenecked, and if you want to exasperate whatever value your website has, and it doesn't just go for the CrowdRising brand either. You guys might have sneaker sites. You guys might have other sales that have been around a long time that you can actually track that analytics for. I bet some of you are looking right now to see if I'm right about that 94 to 96% take on the U.S. being your main source of clicks, of views, and how you're not going to find any South Africans. You can challenge me all you like because I know that you're not seeing it. And now you know why. No one has ever stopped to realize why. Now, there are some people outside of the U.S. that have a little more of a grab on this information than others because they're relying on Google.com, so they're having access to it. They have to be in English-speaking country first, or at least an English-speaking household, so they can get access to this stuff. But they're a little tiny itty bit more knowledgeable or knowledge-based on this, but they still probably never took the time, especially if they're marketers, to understand the webmastering side of this. And if you're a good webmaster, you're not understanding the search engine optimization side of it. Search optimization companies will take your website that your webmaster just made for a few grand, and they'll charge you a few more grand to tweak it to get great search engine optimization here in the US. Then you're going to get a marketer that's going to tweak all those statements and all the little verbology inside of the content of your site, and they're going to tweak it to get you conversions. Those are the marketers. Very seldom will you have all three of these people in their given businesses or their given professions realize all these things that I bring to you tonight. And that is that your .com is not getting not even 5, maybe 5 or 10% of the entire world's reach. And I wouldn't even say that much. Now, do we have to worry about these types of things? No, we don't. And I'm going to cover that when we get into a little bit of training. And I also have something real neat that I want to share with the group tonight that I think is going to really help us expedite our little problems that we're having with our 48-hour freebie entrance. Okay, so Pete, I'm going to give it right back to you for just a few minutes. I'm going to get some further notes kicked up here to see if I can offer a little bit of training for everybody. But more importantly, I want to kick off this concept that I've been holding on to for a few weeks. I just wanted to see where the platform was going to be. I wanted to see how many bugs were going to work out. And I also wanted to see what the retention rate was going to be for all of us as a whole with these 48-hour prospects that are coming in and disappearing. And so we'll cover that. We'll cover that in a little bit. I'm going to give it back to you, Pete, to see if Gerhard has some updates, whatnot, and I'll be back in a little bit.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Wow, what an incredible, incredible buffet of information here, my friend. I was busy taking notes, and Jeff, where did you get this information? This is incredible. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Now, one of the additional things that I want to just add here is last week, I believe it was, we gave everyone the CrowdRising Alexa.com link, and I'm going to post it in the room here again. I've been monitoring our Alexa ranking, and I'm sure Jeff is all on top of this as well. Last week, we were 550,000th most popular website. Take a look at the link now. Already increased to 457,000 in the world and 91,000th most popular site in the United States of America. If you look on this link down below, you'll see the demographic reach. And Jeff touched on this. United States is 31.9% for percent of visitors. Canada is 12.2%. India is third, 11.6%. Croatia, 9%. And Germany, 5%. So I'm sure there's going to be additional countries that are going to be popping onto here and challenging the top 5 countries right now. I see participants in this webinar room from 12 different countries around the world, and I think that's just excellent. That's amazing. It's a real treat to see so many wonderful leaders and just to rub shoulders with so many phenomenal minds and wonderful people from all walks of life. And how are you folks enjoying Mr. Jeff Battershaw here today? Isn't this just an excellent, excellent information session here? Would you say this was worth your time to come out here today and learn this information and hear this firsthand from someone who is as knowledgeable as Jeff is? Incredible. So if anyone has any specific questions geared towards Jeff or anything that we've shared here today, I would absolutely welcome those questions. And I'm going to post the link, the Alexa link in the room here one more time. I think I did, but just in case it didn't show up, let me post it here again. There it is, the Alexa ranking for CrowdRising. This is going to be the site to watch over the coming month, over the coming 90 days, over the coming 6 months, year. Just watch what happens to this Alexa ranking for CrowdRising. It's going to go through the roof here. The numbers are going to be off the charts, my friend. We launched 2 weeks ago today, and we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the potential that we have. Gerhard and myself and Lauren and Kai, I mean, we've been so busy with people, leaders from all walks of life that are just excited, that are motivated, that have questions, and that want to bring their teams in. And we're just absolutely blessed, folks. We're blessed and we're thrilled. So I want to turn this back to Jeff. And if anybody has any specific questions, when we're all wrapped up here with the questions for Jeff, and those that wish to stick around for a Q&A session and a short screen sharing session of the back office, a tour if you will, please feel free to do so. But if you must leave, we are not offended if you have to log off and you cannot stay for the duration of this webinar. So really want to thank you all for taking the time out to be here this wonderful evening here with Mr. Jeff Battershaw. So any questions for Jeff? So let me turn it back to Jeff.
Okay, I want to make sure everyone can hear me again. Yeah, we could do some questions now. They might want to wait a few minutes, though, so I can divulge a little further insight here. But if anyone has something, I need the link also. Well, we don't have any links yet, per se, but we're going to cover a lot of different things. And I'm going to have to, there's no question beyond this tonight, I'm going to have to create some white paper for you guys to maybe follow. But I think that once I reveal a couple of true bottom line heartfelt secrets about where we all are at with this kind of particular program. Any questions? Oh, keep it going. All right. Well, we'll wait for questions. Once you guys realize what we have here, you're going to come to understand that we don't need all that website prowess. We don't need Google. All we really need is a phone. And I mentioned that earlier, and I'll touch on that in a minute. Okay, and it's because of that 6 degrees of separation that this particular opportunity brings to us. It's brilliant. State of the art. We're reaching all over different countries, as he had just mentioned on Alexa. I did not realize the Alexa ratings. We have some fairly bizarre influx of viewers coming in from Germany. That surprises me quite a bit. But there again, Germans and also the Swiss and the French, they really look a lot towards rev share packages. They look a lot towards peer-to-peer funding. So that might not surprise me ultimately. Anyway, getting back on track here. We need to be selective about how we create our reach. Do we want to reach out to just the United States? Do we want to go shopping for a web host, a host provider in South Africa? Is it really important to get a website extension, a ZA, a .za extension, or a .br for Brazil? Remember, those are some of the countries that pretty much refuse to do .com. Okay, it's a pride thing. It's a culture thing, and that's why you don't see them on your in-house analytics for your particular website. The CrowdRising.net obviously is a little bit different. It's reaching Alexa in different ways because of the things I've just mentioned and such. But a general website is going to be 95% US, and then the others, as I had shared before, Canada, Australia, UK, Asian countries. How do we end up getting to those countries? How do we get away from using .com? How could we use the .za? Maybe you want to understand African culture or maybe Chinese culture. Maybe I want to study Chinese medicine from a family going back 1,000 years that is online, a real bottom dwelling site that is not going to be available on the .com. I want to learn about Chinese medicine from them and not some whitest of white boys websites that are created in beautiful fashion, by the way, over here in the US. You get all the information you'd ever want from your WebMDs and your Wikipedias and all your naturopathic sites. But if you want something really cold, hard, real direct herbal learning from China or India, how do you pull up a Chinese Google search engine? Well, you have to fool Google first. And the way you do that is by acquiring a virtual private network. Everyone on this line, especially the Bitcoin folks, everyone that likes privacy and whatnot, everyone should have a virtual private network because data is being collected on all of us by the day. They know so much about us with the way that we shop. They use real-time bidding and direct side platforms, which is also known as online advertising venues. They use all these things to put ads in front of your face based on the things that you like. If you like building dolls, you're going to see doll ads. If you like buying tools for your house or your car, you're going to see mechanic ads come up at your Facebook, and you're going to see them come up at your email providers. This is direct advertising based on data that's kept on you. They cannot keep that data if you have a virtual private network. But not to get off topic, a virtual private network allows you to dial in. You click a button, and it takes away your internet service provider tracking number, your IP address, which identifies you right down to your living room, right down to the 10-foot square carpet that your computer's on. And it sends it to a different country. In this case, it could send you to South Africa. When it sends you to South Africa, you now have the ability to go to google.za and have a blast at the South African world. And I would therefore introduce you to South Africa, because otherwise you're not seeing South Africa, nor is South Africa seeing you. Okay, so that's one trick. We have to, is the virtual private network. We also have to seek out a host in different countries if we want to see. If we're smiling at South Africa through our fancy new virtual private network, well, we want them to smile back at our website. And so we have to have a host from South Africa, okay, in order to do that. And we have to have a .za entity or an extension for our website. But moving forward here, we just don't need all that. What we need is phone work from our people, from our newbies especially. Okay, now we've talked about some advanced stuff for you guys, your mid-level and your higher tier marketers. Okay, we have a lot of alternatives that we all utilize beyond international marketing to get by. The proof's in the pudding. We have 2,000 people right now, and I don't know if anyone knew about international marketing, and if they did, and by the way, I'm a victim of the same circumstance, I don't do international marketing. As much as I know about it, I don't have a .za. Okay, I have a few websites out there, and none of them are doing anything but .com because I don't care to. It takes up too much time. Here, we don't need that. If you want to reach out to China, you get on that phone to your neighbors, and one of your neighbors knows somebody in China, if they're not Chinese themselves, and they will begin to build China for you. That is that 6 degrees of separation that I talked about. Okay? You get on the phone and talk to the next neighbor, and someone will get you in touch with India. In the middle of the night when you're sleeping, you will have a new referral, and I'll be darned if it's not going to be an Indian or a Chinese person or a German, because the Germans are coming in there, right? Or Brazilians. They're all going to start coming in. Language is a little bit of a barrier up front, but we'll get some leaders eventually that will subject themselves to training these different cultures, these different languages, and break those barriers down. Okay. There are other things we can do. We can do capture pages instead of a website, which is pretty much static and it gives you one page and a video and maybe a small capture page. You go with a real hardcore capture page service. You spend $25, $30 a month. Now you're getting your built-in autoresponders. You're getting built-in contact management. There are so many variables that you can ascertain by having a capture page service. You don't need a website. You also have emailing. You're emailing your prospects, and we're going to talk about phones a little bit here. I'd like to ask the group as a whole, the veterans and the mid-level marketers right now, I would like to see on a percentage basis this question. I'd like the group to give me results on this. And again, it's for the mid and higher level marketers, okay, on the line tonight. If you make phone contact with a prospect, and by the way, I'm going to get to another point here, so bear with me, guys, all right? If you make phone contact with a prospect for your high-tier, world-class, exclusive CrowdRising opportunity, what would you guys say the conversion rate is for that person signing up and becoming official with your team? That's what I want to know. Would you say it's 70%? Do you think that you'll convert as much as 80%? What do you feel like the odds are that you're going to convert a prospect on the line tonight, guys, if you can shoot me? Because I believe we're going to see some high numbers. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see 60s, 70s, 80s, and there are some of you that could get 90 or 100. You could close 10 out of 10 people on the phone. It's only $20 for God's sakes. Those are great numbers coming in. Now, the newbies, those are pretty high figures for newbies. They're not even really grasping what I'm talking to. Newbies, what I'm saying here is if you get on the phone, not necessarily with a friend, because there's a lot of bias with friends and family, okay? Maybe you've strung yourself out over times before, you've failed with some things. You don't want to go to your family. We're talking about newbies or reaching out to new prospects. Okay, those numbers you're seeing on the screen right now are fairly high, but you know what? Those numbers are real. Conversion of a phone contacted prospect is always sky high. The mids and the higher tier marketers, they know this. It is the crux of everything we live for, that almighty damn phone number. Now, emails are great too. We got to have emails. We got to be able to capture emails for us to survive. You got to have leads. If you don't have it, you're dead. You're only as good as your next lead. If you only talk to one person for your business, you have some good odds that maybe that one person signs up. If you talk to 100 this month, you have pretty good idea, or you have pretty good odds you're going to reach 60, 70% of them. Even if you're stinky at converting or marketing or selling, if you will, you're going to convert when you get people on the phone. Okay. Some of these bigger hotshot marketers, they demand it. They won't get into your business unless you talk to them anyway. That's just the way they are. So you better get good at it. Okay. It is my belief that the platform right now as it stands is converting less than 15 to 20% of all of the 48-hour free entrants that are coming into the system. For most of us on the line right now, including myself, it's actually more like zero. I've been so crazy busy with everything I'm doing with this thing 12, 13 hours a day, I have not put in an autoresponder system yet, so I've been trying to wing some manual emails. I must have spent 2 hours throughout my day sending out emails as they came in. It was a crazy day. It was glorious. It kept me off track from what I was trying to do, but that is the business. We're going to be busy up front for a few months until we can start to retire towards the top sides and let our newbies come in and take the reins. We want to be down in Belize sucking on Tahitian treats with Pete and the rest of them. We don't want to be doing emails 2 and 3 hours a day because it gets hectic. You guys all know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Even some of the newbies are going to start realizing what the heck it is I'm talking about. And it's called sweat and tears, babe. It's coming. You got to do it, guys. Unless you've initiated an email autoresponder campaign, like I said, which I have not even done myself, and you get out 1 or 2 emails manually, it's just not enough to convert with. It's about the phone work. So based on what I have seen on the results here, I want to turn my attention to Gerhard and Pete and Lauren and even the site developer, okay? Now, I mentioned earlier, guys, you masters of the realm here, you guys that are leading us over from Belize and abroad, the 5 horsemen. I mentioned earlier the first tool that newbies are going to use is their mouth, okay? They don't need emails per se or even a PC 24/7. They need their mouth, a phone, and a desire to achieve. Those are the 2 other things I left out earlier. Their mouth was what I threw at you earlier, a phone to run their mouth with, and a desire to achieve. Everyone is so scared about getting on the phone. I need to implore the leaders of the groups here to begin to vigorously request, if not almost demand, from your downline to get you a phone number. I know I'm not the only one without phone numbers because these people fear talking. We have to break the chain and get these guys talking. Once they do it 2 or 3 times, they'll be genius, and they'll talk their next prospect right out of the damn seat. I mean, they're going to be awesome. We just got to get them trained, okay? Don't be afraid to talk to these prospects, newbies. The phone is the beginning of the end for the success in any venture. It's the ultimate pinnacle of lifeblood for anyone that expects to retire from that cursed 9-to-5 job. Just pick up the phone, call that new prospect, and then tell them right off the top maybe what you're capable of. Hey Chuck, Bob here. Isn't CrowdRising neat? Yeah, it really is. Look, I have no idea what I'm doing with all this high-tech stuff that they're all using, all these kids are using up above us online here, the upline or whatever. But I'll tell you what, I don't think you are neither, are you, Bob? Bob says no. Well, let me tell you, Bob, we will both together knock this thing out of the park while we don't know what we're doing. I mean, that's how you need to carry yourself. Bob, I don't know what I'm doing. My name is Chuck. Hi, how are you? You don't know what you're doing probably either, it sounds like. Let's knock this thing out of the park together as 2 guys that don't know what they're doing, okay? And we'll get our wives in on it, and we'll have 4 people that don't know what the hell they're doing, but we're going to build this thing and become giants, and I'll see you at level 6. That's the mentality that these would-be phone callers need to have, because if they don't start making the calls, it's not going to happen. Now, for the platform, I have a solution, a very simple solution. Pete and Gerhard, your developer could probably have it implemented by tomorrow. When people sign up, and this is why now I've been slacking you guys all this phone talk, because you veterans know the phone is the key. It is the lifeblood. We need to get phone numbers. There is a phone number field on the sign-up form. You know, it's funny. I've done a few sign-up tests myself, and until today, when I purposely looked for it one last time, I never even knew it was there. No one sees the phone box. Guys, if you will make that phone box mandatory, we'll lose a couple off the front, and we won't even know any better. Who cares? What you don't know don't hurt you. The people that are serious about coming into CrowdRising will fill in that box, even if with a fake number. Get them to fill that box in, make it a mandatory part of sign-up, and we will, all of us, you veterans, you'll start closing your prospects, these 48-hour comer buyers. You'll start closing them at 80, 90%. I know you will. Mid-level guys will start doing 60s and 70s. And you newbies don't have any idea what you're doing. You will start closing or converting, if you will, or bringing them in, whatever you want to call it, whatever jargon. You will start bringing these guys in, these newbies, or the new prospects in, at a tune of about 40 to 50%. And right now, I think as a whole, we're probably down to 5, 10, 15%. So that is my challenge for the platform. I think there is maybe a bit of genius within the idea here that if you guys can make that a mandatory box and we start getting phone numbers, we will start seeing an increase that I believe, guys, if you guys could implement this in a day or two, I would say by the first week of June, we should probably be at 4,000 members. That is how strong I feel about those statistics. With all of that said, I will put some white paper together if you guys are still interested in building abroad internationally, but I do want to make one last statement, and that is it's not necessary. The laws of the universe and the laws of the 6 steps of separation will have you in China. It will have you in South Africa. It already is. I've got a South African in my group already, just as an example. You're going to get people from all over the world. We're going to have a melting pot. That is what's wonderful about CrowdRising versus maybe selling shoes online, as we talked about earlier. CrowdRising will be your international domain extension. We can call it CrowdRising.cr. How about that? I don't know. Anyway, farewell for tonight. I'll create some white paper for everybody if they want to learn about international marketing. Really, the idea, though, is for you to now begin to study and chase it. I don't even know what more I could produce other than maybe some links to some autoresponder companies, some really good capture page services. That's where the magic's at. You don't really need a website. You need your phone. You need to be able to email a little bit, and you should probably have a good capture page system with that is able to house a video from YouTube. And it's all relatively easy, guys. You have a lot of learning to do, but it's going to be phenomenal, and that's what your upline is for. But your upline doesn't really want to type all this out. They'd like to talk to you. So get on the phone and talk to these upline. They're not going to bite you. They're going to make you gazillionaires. So let's get moving, people. Pete, I am out. Love you guys. Go Team Rising Power. There are other teams developing, by the way, and it's real exciting to see that. Team High Flyers is kicking butt. They're huge. They're led by some really strong YouTube leaders, YouTube and Google. Shelly Pukamata for one of them. She's my arch nemesis. She don't even know that, but she is so hot to trot on YouTube. I just got to keep trying to track her down and chase her, man, because I don't want her team to beat our team up. But nevertheless, Shelly, we'll have to get on the phone and talk one of these days. If you're out here, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to let you go, Pete. I'm going to sit here and listen to the rest of the show, and then we'll stay in touch, all of us, huh? Let's get to building.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeff Battershaw. All I can say is wow, wow, wow. Incredible information. Jeff, my Skype lit up like a Christmas tree while you were on. Do you know how many requests I received in the last 30 minutes? Get this guy on here on a regular basis. So you, my friend, we are going to have to talk and getting you on the CrowdRising webinar if your schedule allows it, maybe once a week. This is ongoing. This is information that is so valuable, Jeff. I mean, would you guys agree with me that those of you that came to this webinar today here, that you left with some solid information here, some new tools, some things that will seriously impact maybe the way that you build, the way you promote CrowdRising? And absolutely, I mean, I have just a ton of notes here of things based on what Jeff was sharing that, I'm going to be honest, I mean, some of these facts and statistics I did not know. So thank you again, Jeff, for sharing that. So absolutely amazing and a real treat to know you and a treat to have you with us and sharing with us here. So just to warn you, Jeff, we may have to get you back here real soon. Looking forward to that white paper as well, Jeff. That would be awesome. Heard you loud and clear in regards to the phone number. Have noted this, Jeff, and watch for it, my friend. Watch for it. You guys speak, we listen. Those of you that have been around a while, even during the beta launch, you know this to be true. So again, folks, we want to encourage you to all join us this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to get Jeff to come in on this webinar as well. Well, we're going to be doing some basic stuff with Bitcoin, helping all of the participants that are maybe not too comfortable with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency yet. We're going to get you to come on Saturday at 3, and we're going to basically go into teaching you how to open up a Bittrex wallet and a Bitcoin wallet, and we're going to teach you a little bit about cryptocurrency, and just so you have a little bit of an understanding, because we're going to have just a mass amount of new participants coming into CrowdRising from the cryptocurrency world. There's many ideas that we're going to be sharing, so we need to make sure that everybody understands two-factor authorization, teaching everyone that's not comfortable with Authy or WinAuth, and teaching them how to secure their Bitcoins in their wallets, and really how to send Bitcoins, how to receive Bitcoins, how to buy a little cryptocurrency if you wish to, and really just learn some of the basics about screenshots and all that stuff that just you need to know in this field. So this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want to invite everyone to join us, and I would love to have some participation with any one of our leaders in the CrowdRising community that would love to come on and participate in this webinar and just share a few things. So hint, hint, my friend, Mr. Jeff, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would love to have you there as well, and just sharing with our audience a little bit more about that wonderful topic. So again, we're looking for testimonials. If anybody has testimonials that you'd like to submit to CrowdRising, please feel free to do so, either to Gerhard or myself. Gerhard's Skype ID is Rempel, REMPEL51, to submit your testimonial, or myself is InvestNow2, INVESTNOW, letter 2. Submit your testimonials. We'd love to put them up on the site, and we'd also love to highlight and showcase them on the 7 p.m. Eastern webinars here as we move forward. Always nice to have testimonials from excited participants from around the world that are just thrilled and excited to share their results with everyone about CrowdRising. So anyone, any questions? Anyone, anything specific that you want to hear? Anything for Jeff? I want to turn this over one more time to Jeff in the event there are any specific questions that potentially only Jeff can answer before we turn this over to Gerhard for a basic Q&A session for the CrowdRising back office. Now, also, everybody should have noticed the pop-up that comes on when you log into your CrowdRising back office. It gives members the tutorials. It gives them some information about upgrading and about the stages, and all that information is really vital, I think, and it should cut down on the number of support tickets that come into CrowdRising that people just don't have the proper information. So any suggestions and feedback from you, our valued leaders and participants, again, submit them to Gerhard and myself. We would love to hear from you. So any other questions here to Jeff? I'm going to turn it back to Jeff in the event there are any questions.
Am I back? Am I good? Coming in? Maybe? Yes. Okay. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, shoot it to me. Just curious to see where you guys' heads are at. We've covered a lot of information tonight, but the most paramount of all of it, I think, is the retention rate of our 48-hour free entrance. So we'll work on that. If the platform will have it been done, that'll be wonderful. We're all going to reap benefits from that, and it'll happen really overnight. It really will. So questions. What would you, let me see, I'm back up here. Great stuff. Later. Questions. What would you recommend for autoresponders? Gosh, there's a lot of them out there. You really want an autoresponder system that also has built-in capture pages. You want a one-stop shop. One of my favorites out there is the iPower system. Look up iPower. They're such a dignified, well-oiled machine of a company. The backbone the ownership of that particular online company is just 1000% human. He's just unreal. If you watch enough videos about these guys at iPower, I think it's iPower.com. I mean, a lot of us use them already, but they're just exquisite. I mean, they're real easy to learn. Another one which doesn't really have capture pages though, but has a phenomenal autoresponder system. Yeah, see, this is where that white paper would come in handy. Oh shoot, I can't remember. They don't really have capture pages though, so probably not worth mentioning. You really don't want to have to go to 2 different services to split your efforts up. You really want to have a one-stop shop. My favorite again is the iPower. What's phenomenal about iPower is that if your upline creates a web page there, or sorry, not a web page, but a capture page, okay, which gives you the ability to put in hundreds of words above your video, below your video. You don't need thousands of words applied at a static website. You don't want too much overkill. You don't want to give too much information about your business at hand. You want to give information about what it's about, but you don't want to throw the name out there, because then people will sidestep you and go back into YouTube and type in CrowdRising. If you have anything to do with CrowdRising on your site, you're already giving away part of your influx of captures. So what you want to say is you got this ultimate crazy funding program or peer-to-peer donating network, and here's all about it. You don't have to go too crazy. A capture page will give you a few hundred words up top, a few hundred words in the bottom, give you some buttons to click on, and a video to watch. There are some capture systems that will give you 2 videos to watch. I don't know if iPower has that, but we can get into iPower a little bit more offline. I'll leave you some links on white paper. You can. One of the beautiful things is like I said, your upline can actually create the most phenomenal capture page, less the video, of course, because you're going to have your own choice of video. So you're going to have this beautiful capture page that your upline makes with this black spot in the middle of it for your video to go there, which is really easy to do, by the way. And it happens at the click of a button through what's called a share code. So there's a lot of power within some of these $25 and $30 services that you don't really get with a static website. That's why you won't see me building a website for CrowdRising. It's just not really necessary. The capture pages do the trick. Okay. If you guys want to see my capture page, it's real simple. It's mycrowdrising.com. One word, mycrowdrising.com. I have that. I had just built that landing video about 4 days ago, actually, and I have not released it to the CrowdRising corner of the YouTube world yet, but I will very shortly, along with some other videos. But that will give you an idea of how iPower looks, because that is an official iPower landing page. So you guys might want to consider that. Best $30 you'll ever spend, I'll tell you that. But what we need to do is focus on our downline and not overwhelm them, the newbies, that is. We don't want to overwhelm them with all this crazy talk and all this high-tech stuff. We want to get them good on the phone, train with them if you have to. Trust me, leaders, your investment's going to pay off, because you're going to be able to get offline and away from the computer as the days and weeks and months progress, and you'll disappear up into the stratospheres of the levels of 6s and 7s where you want to be, and all of your henchmen will take care of it all down below. It'll be wonderful. So train them right, but get them started on the phone first. If these guys can implement that phone technique that I've mentioned, we're all going to be getting real busy, people. You're going to start getting sore throats. Okay, as far as any other questions, so that's your autoresponder question. How many of you are at stage 4? Well, I don't know if that's a question for me or for everybody. I'm personally not even at stage 4 yet. I probably need to get there, I guess, pretty soon. You know, we want to practice what we preach, so we want to definitely get to those higher stages so our people can follow through as a strategic remedy for the 1-2 lull or the 2-3 lull that occurs between stages. There's a quiet time there that we want to eliminate. So everyone needs to get up to stages quickly, but you don't want to go really past 2 or 3 at first, because then you'll start creating other holes in your system, and you don't want that either. So the reality is you just got to spend some time at stage 1 and 2, and then build into stage 3, and then give motivators for why they want to go to stage 4 and 5 later on. Next questions. Yeah, mycrowdrising.com. That's me. Not capital letters, though, of course, but mycrowdrising.com. I don't know if anyone ever notices this, but Google and them, they don't accept capital letters. There's never capital letters in a domain name, just FYI. Oh, let's see here. What else do we have? Sponsors recruiting CrowdRising to join other opportunities. I don't think that's a question. That's Gerhardt. I don't know if there's any other questions right now, it looks like, but what I'll do is I'll create some white paper on some of these links that are more pertinent to our needs. I'll throw some international stuff there, but I think you guys are going to come to realize that you're going to build as fast with your US domain registered website or your crisscross website. If it's registered in the UK, you didn't even know it. It won't matter because it's never going to get ranking probably anyway. And by the way, your capture pages won't get ranking. Capture page services are infamous for not being able to search engine optimize. They're very weak at it. Don't ever plan on getting on page 1 with Google with CrowdRising with a capture page service. You would want to then really focus on a website. But dare I say, you don't need to be on page 1 at Google. Okay, let me give you an instance here for something, if I can, Pete. I'm sure you might not mind at this point. Okay, let's say that you got your website. Let's say you got CrowdRising. You don't necessarily have a website, but you think you want a website, so you build it, and you're standing in line. Google is right now a giant, beautiful ship. It's a cruise ship. It's the most glorious cruise ship in the world, and there's a big ramp leading off to it. And you're in line with thousands of people that want to get on this cruise ship, and you ain't going to get on. And this is the proverbial page 1 of Google. Okay, you're just not going to get on that unless you are masterful, especially at some keywords. Now, right now, CrowdRising is so small, you could get on page 1 real easy with a website. You really could. It takes a little time. It takes Google some time sometimes to get you there. It can happen instantaneously, but generally it takes a little time. But if you will focus your efforts not on international building and not even on website design, if you will focus your efforts on a good capture page and spend the 3 or 4 precious hours that some of you worker bees have at night after the kids are in bed and you're asleep, they're going to sleep. I know the feeling. You only got 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes you don't feel like you're getting anything done. Begin to study YouTube. Okay, that's where, and I'm glad this is coming up because I wanted to make that point earlier. Forget international, forget websites, get into your emailing, all that jazz, of course. Get into the phone work, which I'm going to always convey is the most important of all. But if you want to get into running videos away from YouTube, i.e. at your own capture page service, you want to get good at YouTube. That's where I would highly recommend everyone start spending their 4 precious hours on the weeknights and abroad. Because here's the deal. You're standing in line at that cruise ship, and you see a guy walk down about 50 yards. A guy and a girl are walking down 50 yards from the boat. They get on this little dinghy, and the dinghy guy rows them to the back side of the boat. They disappear behind the big giant vessel. They're going to get on board that vessel and cut the entire line. That dinghy represents YouTube. YouTube will get you right to page 1. If you know how to optimize videos, you will not only manifest page 1 in high rankings at YouTube, but Google will literally put you on the #1 spot, or in some cases, I should say the #2 page, because they don't usually allocate videos for certain things until #2 page. But nonetheless, you will get on page 1 at Google within seconds, like 40 seconds after you launch your video at YouTube. Now, how exciting is that? To hell with international marketing. You don't need it because YouTube is the international marketing. Now, I talked about how Brazilians and how South Africans and some others, they don't like to use .com, so they're never going to see your site. They all use YouTube, people. And all these English-speaking countries, they're all going to be coming. And that's why the .net domain right now of CrowdRising is so vast that, so strangely vast that Alexa.com with all their strengths, where all the numbers are coming from. It's because of YouTube, really, because all of us are doing YouTube. So your assignment is to get your people, for your upline, the leaders here, your assignment is to get your people better at the phone. Start getting those phone numbers. The platform, your assignment would be to get that field, that selective field for phone number application locked in as a necessary requirement to sign up as a freebie. If they don't, we never needed them anyway, did we? No, we didn't. All we're getting is tormented by seeing all these 48-hour people sliding in and out, trying to chase them. Well, we're going to do it on the phone, and we'll get them, I promise. So everyone has an assignment tonight, but for the newbies, start studying YouTube. And if you're going to get a capture page system, you got to study that too. You're going to put about 10 or 15 hours into a capture page system to learn how to manipulate it. You're going to put 20 or 30 or 40 hours into learning YouTube. And I can't tell you where to start except You know, what is YouTube? Or maybe you can go right to YouTube and say, how to rank good with YouTube, and just start to study it, and it will slowly become you. It's all about study time after the kids are in bed, of course. Anyway, I'm going to haul Boogie for right now. I don't know if there's any other questions. Let's look here. What is the purpose of putting a lot of hashtags in YouTube video uploads? Oh, see, that's a tricky one there. I think when he says hashtags, he's referring to keywords, all the different types of keywords. The real good YouTubers, they know how to link their videos together through those keywords. Okay, for example, I have a 20-second intro video at YouTube right now, and I'm pointing it at the KDK group, the KDK charity. And the only reason why I'm doing that to them is because a few weeks ago they got really harsh on us when they discovered one morning that we were doing what we were doing. The creator of the PowerPoint presentation tried to say it was hers when we all know it wasn't. She was delusional at best. Well, I got a little irritated with that, so I decided to throw some YouTube at them. So if you go to KDK Charity, I'm all over it, right up top. You know, I kind of hated to do it because they're trying to get off the ground, and they all mean wonderful things, just like us. But the thing is, I did that with just those hashtags. I put KDK, this, that, and the other, KDK Charity Group, iCharity versus KDK. You know, you only get like 25 or 30 of those, and then it's going to bottom out. You don't necessarily want to use all those hashtags either. But there's a lot of secrets to optimizing a YouTube video. It starts with the way you upload the video, for goodness sakes. You have to focus on like one keyword. So if you want to focus on CrowdRising scam, then that's how you upload your video. CrowdRising scam. That's going to give you huge benefit right there. Then, of course, you bring in the hashtags. The title is critical, you know, and all the information down below. I see that no one ever puts information down below. Fill that information up. Google loves that content. They're going to rank you better if you can just talk about CrowdRising. Go to some of my videos. You'll see me just hemming and hawing about the history of charities. It's a bunch of malarkey. The history of donations. Donations been around for 1,000 years. I'm doing that to create content below the YouTube video and also bring in the keywords without looking tacky or overrunning Google, because Google will shut you off, and so can YouTube if you do certain things wrong. So I'm running all my mouth here, like I am tonight, unfortunately, via the typing of the words into my descriptions at YouTube, and it's content. It's all content. You guys can go and check some of them out. I'm releasing some more videos in the next few days as well, so we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Any other questions as my voice goes hoarse? Anyway, that's the hashtags answer. The long and short is that's what I need you guys to start studying, how to become good at YouTube. Let's see here. And some of the YouTubers now are cursing me. Hey, don't tell them all of our secrets. But you know what? We're all here for one purpose for the most part, right? And that is to prevail. What is the purpose of putting, I read that one, stage of people. I guess that's it. How can I contact Jeff? Well, I'm on Facebook. My Skype ID is the Batman-Jeff, all lowercase. The Batman. I'll type that in. There's me. That's my hashtag. That's my call sign for Skype. And yeah, you know, we'll chit chat away. Love doing it for you guys. I'm gonna turn it back over to Pete. I gotta get me some water before I die out here, guys. Love you. You guys be.
Thanks again, Jeff. Just excellent information, and we will most certainly look forward to seeing your white paper and sharing that with everyone who was on the webinar here today and who would be interested in that. Let's get a real quick show in the room. How many of you would be interested in seeing this white paper in regards to what Jeff shared about tonight? All the things. I mean, yeah, you could take so many notes, but you know what? I think a white paper summarizing it all would be really, really beneficial and helpful to everyone. Well, look at all the yeses in the room already. So it's very clear that we need this in our hands. So what we'll do, if our friend Jeff will make that available to us, what we will do is we'll post it on our Facebook page so that everyone can really have access to this information. It's not top secret or anything, so many of the people in our CrowdRising Facebook page obviously are not necessarily participants in CrowdRising. It's there for anybody to check in and just check us out, and you know, it's a great place to meet people and interact with them, and they see some of this information. It adds value to what we're already saying, what we're already sharing. So it'll be a great tool, I believe, to just really help empower you and bring more people into CrowdRising. And like Jeff said, get these numbers up to 4,000 plus people here in a very short period of time. What do you guys feel? Feel like we can do it? 4,000 by June 1? What do you guys think? Possible? Everybody going out and getting a couple of people? What do you think that'll do to the numbers? Not just on Alexa, but our overall ranking and the numbers inside CrowdRising. Very, very exciting stuff and very, very possible we can do it. Teamwork makes the dream work, my friend. All right, well, it's been a long webinar here today. I'm going to turn it over to Gerhard here real quick for just a few words, a little hello. We won't do any back office training today because it went a little long, and Jeff may come back here and add a few more things, but Gerhard is going to certainly do a Q&A for anybody that wants to stick around and has specific back office questions. We'd absolutely love to have you. Now also, I'm going to throw it out here one more time. If you have a testimonial that you would like to share on our CrowdRising webinar, would absolutely love to hear from you. Get in contact with me. Let's do a sound check, and let's get you on the stage here sharing your story or your results, whatever they may be. Love to hear from you. I put my Skype ID in the box there, so feel free to contact me. Would be more than happy to have a chat with you. All right, so join me in welcoming Gerhard here real quick. So Gerhard, say hello.
Hi everybody. I'm going to do a quick sound check. Make sure that I'm broadcasting. Can you hear me? I hope the recording has been stopped. We don't want to record this. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit. How's that? Is that any better? I won't be offering the usual back office crash course because I'm having serious browser issues. The page constantly hangs up. I have to refresh and refresh. You know, it's just frustrating. So let's just do a real quick Q&A. If you have any questions, you know, by all means post them, and I will do my best to answer each and every one of them. I'd just like to mention a few things that there have been several anonymous complaints. No need to mention names. I don't even have names. There were some anonymous support tickets that have come in, and there have been several of those, mind you, that are complaining that some uplines, some sponsors are either via a marketing system or by direct emailing are contacting CrowdRising participants, inviting them to join other opportunities. Instead of reaching out to them and help them build their CrowdRising business center, they're trying to recruit these participants into different business opportunities. Not only does that go against our terms, but it also is counterproductive. You know, in the long run, you would be shooting yourself in the foot, along with or as well as shooting those that you recruit into other business opportunities. You're also shooting them in the foot, so to speak, because you know it is just totally, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong when I say this. You know, this is just my personal opinion. That is unethical. And it should not, you know, nobody should be doing that. I mean, it's just wrong. We're here to build something awesome. We have something, you know, I believe we started something that has the true potential of becoming something really, really amazing, phenomenal, the best that it can ever be, the best that has ever been. And that goes to say it could not have been brought this far without each and every one of you contributing in different ways. So again, please do not contact CrowdRising participants and invite them to join other opportunities. That's just wrong, and I hope you understand, and I hope there will be no hard feelings because I'm asking you to put a stop to that. So our terms clearly state that, and let's just play fair. Let's just stick to the agreement that you agreed upon when you joined, and let's just move onwards and upwards. Okay, how do I turn off this spill? Once you're at stage 5, you will see an additional button on the set. When you click on settings, you will see an additional tab or a on and off switch. It's a bit confusing because you will see on and off on all of the settings options, like the email notifications. On means you're getting emails. Off means you're not getting emails. And when you come to the last I think there's four different settings. The bottom one is to turn the spillover off. It really says turn it on to allow more than 5 on your front row. When you turn it on, then it means no spills. If you're now extending your row of 5, it now becomes unlimited. If you turn it off, what the word off shows up, then it means the spillover will continue. You have capped your front row at 5, and it will not expand. Everything that you bring in, or every additional refill you bring in, will spill downwards, right? So it must say on in order to allow more than 5 on your front row. It is in your back office. All you have to do is click on settings, but mind you, that does not show up unless you have stepped up and have been confirmed at stage 5. That's where you see that option. Any other questions, folks? All right, I don't see any other questions. Let's just call this a wrap then. And thank you very much for having coming in. And again, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege to be here with you. And I hope to see you all back here again. And I just want to, really thank our awesome mutual friend Jeff from the bottom of my heart. This guy's phenomenal. It made so much sense. And he's just an amazing individual. And I know that a lot of you have. Gotten a lot of education on this, and we're looking forward to having him on again and collaborate with him in helping you do workshops on actually showing you step by step how to do what he presented here tonight. All of those options and all of those things are super important. So I can clearly see the need for workshops where we actually show you how to do it, sort of draw it out for you for those that are not in the know already how to do it. Of course, we'll guide you step by step on how to create your capture pages, how to set everything up, and the whole shoot and shebang. So workshops, I think, are one of the most important things that we need to carry on from this point onwards. When you turn it off, where do new referrals land at level 5 or level 1? When you turn the spillover off, your front row, which is not by default capped at 5 referrals, it then becomes unlimited. They will all land on your level 1. Those that on your level 1 bring in, they will filter down into your second level. And when those bring people in, they will filter into your third level, and so downwards all the way to level 10. Yes, Carol, definitely. Skype me. If you're not connected on Skype already, then feel free to add me to Skype, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you directly on Skype. My Skype ID is Repo51. All right, folks. Let's call this a wrap. See you on our Facebook group or on Skype in the meantime until we meet again here tomorrow night, same time, same place at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a phenomenal night, everybody.
Thanks again to each and every one that attended here today. We know we went quite long here. So Jeff, if you're still there, any closing words from you, my friend, would be greatly appreciated as well. Most likely Jeff's on a sharing.
Oh, sorry.
Rising is someone. So again, I want to just thank everyone for being here. So Gerhard, I see you're on the mic, so back to you.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, Pete. I didn't mean to do that. This goes. Okay, let me see. Who was posting this? My username does not appear in the browser. But when you are logged out and you open a new browser and you paste your referral link and click enter, then your referral link, as it currently is, redirects to the website. So therefore, the address bar will just show crowdrising.net. However, that is your personal replicated website, so to speak. When you click on the sign up button, it will show you as the sponsor. Now, if you happen to have your file already, the system will still show you referrals that they were invited by you. However, you are already at the maximum allowed referrals, and then the system has already looked in your downline in your row of 5, and it has already checked which of the 5 or whatever number of referrals you currently have on your row of 5 has the least number of referrals, and will show your future new sign up who the sponsor will be. So that has already been predetermined by the software. So by the time your new recruit, your new sign up registers, the software has already pre-chosen which one of your referrals has the least number of referrals, and that referral becomes the sponsor of your new sign up. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that needs to be repeated over and over for those that don't know how cookies work. Every time you go to a website, it physically stores a cookie on your computer. Now, if you're a future sign up or prospect or whatever you want to call it has already been on the website, has already clicked on somebody's referral link, they decided not to join. They just closed everything off and run about, and then they decide to, okay, I'm gonna sign up after all. So they go and look up the referral link. They will click on it. It takes them to the website. So they start clicking around here and there, and then by the time they click on the sign up, by now they are no longer on your link. Thus, they will be showing somebody random to sign up. Well, not exactly random. What happens is the system will implement what it was designed to do. If somebody goes to the website, signs up on the website without following a referral link, the system will spill them down to the very first um, participant from top to bottom, from left to right, that has the least amount or number of referrals. That's how we designed the system to handle the spillover. None of the 5 horsemen, nor the admin position, while admin is old school, we refer to the top position, which is a joint position, by the way, by the 5 horsemen, or at least some of them. No additional referrals go under admin, under CrowdRising. No, not a single one of the 5 horsemen that are directly sponsored by the master position receive any of those spillovers. They are all being spilled from the 5 horsemen downwards. So I want to make very sure that everybody knows and understands that if you send somebody to the website, or anybody for that matter, just go to the website, click on sign up, that you know the system was designed to be 100% absolutely fair. It will spill it down to the very first member in the entire community that has the least number of referrals. So there you have it, folks.
everybody. I just wanted to jump on and say good night to everyone. And wow, what a great webinar that was. Beautiful. And I love the idea about the phone number, Gerhard. So I thought I'd play a little music to get us out of here. Good night, everybody.
Get 'em up, Scout. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, everybody. Good night. See you tomorrow.